All right, so step one, we take some little popsicle stick thingies, put them out in a square, and then I've got some little screen door mesh here I'm using for the fencing that goes around the panels of the Octagon. So we're hot gluing those down. All right, so this is just kind of a general framework of what it's roughly going to be. We've got screened little popsicle sticks and my poster board that I'm building the platform out of. So here is the figures. It's a little bit tall, so I think I'm going to actually recess the base of this into the board. I'll cut little notches out and drop it down in there to kind of bring the height down a little bit. Alright, so I've got all my panels done. I've got the screen glued in front and back, finished with sticks. Then now I'm going through and cutting notches to drop these panels into, and I'll glue those down inside there. And then I'll take my tool here and cut a 45 off of each angle, so I make sure the angle's correct. Come down with the next one and then come straight. So it's gonna be like a half octagon, a little more than half, like a 3/4 octagon, so that I can take pictures from here without a panel in my way. So it'll be like I'm shooting pictures from inside the ring. All right, so I've got my second angle cut, and now I'm lining these up just to make sure that everything fits right. And then I will glue the back one and the first corner, and then I'll glue these two panels together. All right, so I have cut out all the perimeter slots for my fence, and I'll go back in now and glue the pieces in, and then glue them to each other. Alright, so I have glued these into the base that I cut out, and now I'm going to glue them to each other from the back side before I set the posts in each corner. Alright, so I've got my screens painted. Now I've cut my posts to the right length to go in each corner. And I'm trying to decide if I want to paint these black or another color. I would probably leave them black just because that's how they actually are in most of the arenas I've seen. So I'll leave my color for the deco here on the base, on the floor, and just let this, let the perimeter screens stay black. Alright, so I've got all my posts painted for the corners, and I'm about to glue them into place. Alright, so I've cut the edges around off, and here's a wide shot of it. I gotta go back in and mark just some designs and logos and stuff on the floor and build the platform for it, and then it'll be done. Alright, so to the bottom I'm gonna build the platform up a little bit with just some random pieces of packing foam, and I'm gonna glue it in some places all over just to give it some height so that the crowd around it will be a little bit lower than it is. Alright, so I've glued styrofoam to the bottom to give it stability and elevate it a little bit. Alright, now I'm going through with a ruler and a Sharpie and just drawing the lines on the interior of the mat around the inside perimeter. Alright, so I decided to put one more layer of foam just to get it to kind of the proper height. If you've got people standing in the background or sitting in the background watching the fight, it needed to be a little taller, so I went ahead and did that. I also left a lip on here for people to be able to walk around the perimeter just like an actual one would be. And then my incredibly talented wife made me a UFC logo with her little Cricut cutter machine to go right there. So yeah, I'll probably add some other stickers and stuff here and there, smaller logos around in these places at some point, but for today it is finished. Now let's look at some photographs. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a little breakdown of my lighting setup. So around the room, I have white Christmas lights hung up. I have these rope lights, several strands strung across from corner to corner. I've got a black 2 walls and a base. And then we'll just take our finished diorama here and set him down right there. And then you'll see here I've got my camera stand set up for my phone to take pictures. And now we'll get some figures in there and get some shots. So here we can see we've got our UFC figures. And you can see you've got a lip around the outside edge, again, for people to walk around and stand on, which is how the rink actually is. I'll probably finish that out in black at some point, but for now I'm just gonna leave it gray. Thought about doing yellow maybe, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But here's your figures, and yeah. So with the bright lights, once you snap your photo, you can bring the contrast down, and that will kind of blur that background out. Unless you've got an arena diorama that you can put behind it, like something from Extreme Sets or something like that, then you'll be able to get some cool shots and stuff with it. But for me, I just use a black background because it's a little easier to light and a little easier to get shots. But that's what they look like through the screen. And that's what they look like in the ring. And that's what they look like overhead. And that's what they look like in the bed. Just kidding. I had a Dr. Seuss moment. I apologize. But anyway, there you go.